Claudine Gay now has a piece at the New York Times. I hope she wrote it. I mean, who knows? Could have, for some reason, it starts off, I have a dream. But in any case, her piece is titled, Claudine Gay, What Just Happened at Harvard is Bigger Than Me. Well, is it, though? Is it bigger than you? Or is it just you? I mean, it is bigger than you in the sense that it's DEI, but you think that it's about something bad that's bigger than you. I think that getting rid of DEI would be a very, very good thing. So here's what Claudine Gay actually says. Quote, on Tuesday, I made the wrenching but necessary decision to resign as Harvard's president. For weeks, both I and the institution to which I've devoted my professional life have been under attack. My character and intelligence have been impugned. My commitment to fighting anti-Semitism has been questioned. My inbox has been flooded with invective, including death threats. I've been called the N-word more times than I dare to count. I love how this is the beginning of every article now, is people were mean to me. Yeah, I mean, that's bad. Also, you were a terrible president of Harvard, which is why you were ousted after 6 months. My hope is that by stepping down, I will deny demagogues the opportunity to further weaponize my presidency in their campaign to undermine the ideals animating Harvard since its founding: excellence, openness, independence, and truth. The opposite, the entire basis for Harvard's founding, which was excellence and truth, okay, the slogan is Veritas, has been undermined by the radical subjectivism of the DEI post-constructionist ideology to which you pay fealty. The entire basis for academia has shifted over the course of the last half century from what used to be an open-minded inquiry into the nature of truth and finding actual truths, and toward group diversity, inclusion, right? All of these things that have nothing to do particularly with merit. You could have a meritocracy that is inclusive. In fact, I think meritocracy is the most inclusive thing because people of literally any background can have merit. But you don't believe that. And thus, you have to get rid of the meritocracy. She says, as I depart, I must offer a few words of warning. The campaign against me was about more than one university and one leader. This was merely a single skirmish in a broader war to unravel public faith in pillars of American society. Campaigns of this kind often start with attacks on education and expertise because these are the tools that best equip communities to see through propaganda. But such campaigns don't end there. Trusted institutions of all types, from public health agencies to news organizations, will continue to fall victim to coordinated attempts to undermine their legitimacy and ruin their leaders' credibility. Well, what if you had already undermined the credibility of your institution and you are actually the leading indicator of the bleeding of those institutions? Those institutions have been undermined for years. I was writing about the corruption of American higher education in the early 2000s. William F. Buckley was writing about it in like the 1950s. There's nothing new under the sun here. Basically what happened is that leftists took over institutions that people trusted, and then they gutted them and wore around their face like Hannibal Lecter. And they're like, and yet now they don't trust the right, because you gutted the institutions long ago. You suggested that they were all repositories of white supremacy and evil. You suggested that objective standards of merit are wrong. And then you wonder, after you corrupt the institutions, why people think the institution is corrupt. It's because you corrupted it. That's why. She says, yes, I made mistakes. In my initial response to the atrocities of October 7th, I should have stated more forcefully what all people of good conscience know. Hamas is a terrorist organization that seeks to eradicate the Jewish state. And at a congressional hearing last month, I fell into a well-laid trap. Oh, it was a trap. It was a well-laid trap by Elise Stefanik. First of all, have you actually talked to Congresswoman Stefanik? She thought that question that she asked Claudine Gay and the rest of the professors, which was, do you believe that chants for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard policy? She thought that was the easy question. It was the follow-up question that she thought was going to get them, which was going to be, okay, so why don't you do anything about it? But they wouldn't even answer the question. Instead, they went to, well, it depends on the context of the genocide of the Jews. They blew it. That wasn't even the trap. She hadn't even sprung the trap yet. You preemptively fell into a trap that had not yet been triggered. It's amazing. Claudine Gay says, I neglected to clearly articulate that calls for the genocide of Jewish people are abhorrent and unacceptable, and that I would use every tool at my disposal to protect students from that kind of hate. Well, why? We all know the answer, by the way. The real reason why Claudine Gay couldn't say that is because when you say globalize the Intifada, which means the Intifada is about the destruction of the state of Israel, getting rid of the Jews in the region. When you say globalize that, if you were to say that's anti-Semitic and banned on our campus, just like so many other things are banned on our campus because we actually don't care about free speech all that much, if you had said that, the left would have been angry at you. And so you weren't willing to say the thing. That's why. And this is why Claudine Gay is indicative of a broader rubric across all of higher academics. She's right. It is about more than Claudine Gay. Much more than Claudine Gay. It's about an entire ideology that has infected all of our universities and needs to be done away with forthwith. as we know, 2024, it's going to be a wild ride. You're already seeing the impacts of inflation at the gas pump, at the grocery store. Economic stagnation, as we'll discuss momentarily, is going to come next. It is the next shoe to drop. Well, it might be a good time to diversify your savings. It might be, because it turns out that leaving your savings in the charge of the people who run the government bureaucrats, not always the best idea. This is why you should check out my friends over at Birch Gold. For decades, gold has been the choice of investors and central banks to hedge against inflation. Birch Gold can help you create a well-thought-out, balanced investment strategy that'll help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold without paying a single penny out of pocket. This month only, when you open a gold IRA with Birch Gold, you'll get a free signed copy of my book, The Authoritarian Moment, which could not be better timed. You need to text Ben to 989898 to qualify. Birch Gold has been the exclusive gold company of the Daily Wire for the past 7 years. I buy my gold from them, and you can too. Text Ben to 989898. Protect your savings. Claim your eligibility for a free signed copy of The Authoritarian Moment. Go check them out right now. Text Ben to 989898 and go check out Birch Gold right now. She says, most recently, the attacks have focused on my scholarship. My critics found instances in my academic writings where some material duplicated other scholars' language without proper attribution. I believe all scholars deserve full and appropriate credit for their work. When I learned of these errors, I promptly requested corrections from the publications. I've never misrepresented my research findings. I proudly stand by my work and its impact on the field. There's been no impact on the field of her work. I mean, this is, no. She says, it is not lost on me that I make an ideal canvas for projecting every anxiety about the generational and demographic changes unfolding on American campuses. A black woman selected to lead a storied... yes, it's because you're black. Liz McGill is the whitest person who ever whited. And she was the president of University of Pennsylvania, and she was gone before you, lady. So it had nothing to do with your race. In fact, it was your race that was the only shield you had against your own incompetence and garbage administration. She says, someone who views diversity as a source of institutional strength and dynamism. Someone who has advocated a modern curriculum that spans from the frontum of quantum science to the long-neglected history of Asian Americans. Someone who believes that a daughter of Haitian immigrants has something to offer the nation's oldest universities. Yes, that's all why we're objecting. We're objecting because you funded quantum science. Nailed it. That's why we're all upset at you. It's probably because you wanted to study Asian American history. Yeah, yes, that's why we're mad. Yeah, all of us, we are super mad that a daughter of Haitian immigrants was succeeding at Harvard. Yes, we who believe that probably the smartest living person is like Thomas Sowell, and that Winsome Sears will make an excellent governor of Virginia. Like, you're right. That Condi Ray should replace you. You're right. It's all about your blackness. That's really what it's about. She says, as I return to teaching and scholarship, by the way, she has the best cushy job. She's going to get paid almost $1 million a year. Imagine you're another professor at Harvard getting paid like, I don't know, 150 grand. And you look at Claudine Gay, who falsified her very scanty research or plagiarized it, and also happened to be terrible at her job, and she's getting paid like $1 million a year after failing. Whew. She says, as I return to teaching and scholarship, I will continue to champion access and opportunity. I will bring to my work the virtue I discussed in the speech I delivered and my presidential inauguration, courage. It is courage that is... Why are we now getting the Cowardly Lion speech? Courage. What puts the ape in apricot? Courage. She says, it is courage that has buoyed me throughout my career, and it is courage that is needed to stand up to those who seek to undermine what makes universities unique in American life. She says, I'd urge broader caution. At tense moments, every one of us must be more skeptical than ever of the loudest and most extreme voices in our culture, however well organized or well connected they may be. Too often they are pursuing self-serving agendas that should be met with more questions and less credulity. It's the conspiratorial. It's probably the Jews. She says, college campuses in our country must remain places where students can learn, share, and grow together. Oh my gosh. Yes, it is about more than Claudine Gay. And it should be about more than Claudine Gay, which is why I hope that her ouster is only the beginning. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.